Hey everyone, so a big news reported channel for finances actually talked about all the meme coins and the dip, so we really have to watch this video. Be sure to subscribe for more and watch until the end because this is like pretty important news. I wanted to give my own thoughts on it.
Buy more Bitcoin this week?
Yeah. I kind of seem to buy every dip in crypto.
You do?
I have a long-term faith that, and the same reason I got into criminal justice reform, it's about systems change. Crypto at its core is about systems change, right? The blockchain revolution, the crypto revolution.
So if you don't know who Michael Novogratz is, he's a Galaxy CEO. He knows a lot about cryptocurrency, and this is why he invested in the current dip and even, talking about Shiba Inu and Dogecoin and so on.
Is about remaking the financial infrastructure and actually the consumer infrastructure of our country in a more transparent, just, fair way. It came as a response to the 2008 financial crisis. When you talk to the people in the middle of it, they are really revolutionaries. And so I know there's frenzies with things like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, and everyone gets excited with the kind of gambling aspect of it. But at its core, it's really about rebuilding a system in a way that cuts out the rent taker.
Right.
That is more fair.
That's exactly it. Shiba Inu, no fees, the community is strong, and so on. Totally get this guy. Novogratz is like a really smart person.
So did you buy this dip? We saw a decline of 30% earlier this week.
I bought Bitcoin and Ethereum on the dip.
You did, okay. Kathy Wood was on our air earlier this week. She's a long-term Bitcoin bull as well. She still thinks the price can get to $500,000. What do you see the price ultimately being for Bitcoin?
So listen, I think that's a decent target. If you want to think about Bitcoin in the crypto ecosystem has taken this lane of digital gold, of a store of value. And we have a financial system right now in the US where the old head of the central bank is actually running the Treasury Department. So if you believed in independent central banking, that's kind of metaphorically an important thing to understand. Like, we've lost independent central banking. We have a central bank that is printing money nonstop.
Well, cryptocurrency aims to change that, especially with the tax fees we are seeing. So every time you send a transaction, if this happens, this is actually like huge.
And because of it, right, fiat currencies are being devalued and debased. And so gold is rallying. Bitcoin as the new digital version of gold has been rallying. I think Bitcoin will surpass gold in 3 or 4 years. That makes it about 500,000.
If that really happens, 500,000 per Bitcoin, that would be simply huge.
Assuming gold stays where it is, and I actually think gold goes higher. And so how is it going to get there? It's going to get there with more adoption. I was on the phone with the head of one of the largest pensions in the country yesterday, and they are unbelievably deep in the weeds of Bitcoin. Haven't bought a lot yet, but they're deep in the weeds in it. And so I just see institutions looking at this as a hedge versus our Treasury Department and central banks' ability to actually get the economy landed with deficits that continue to grow, and a Congress that wants to and maybe should want to spend to deal with the inequality gap that we have.
Mike,
right? We don't have the Tea Party anymore saying stop spending money. We have a progressive party on the Democratic side saying we should have free college.
Right.
So Michael is basically saying dollar and fiat and basically cash is devaluing, while coins like Bitcoin, Shiba Inu, everything like that, something like that is a community coin, Dogecoin, all keep growing.
We should really have UBI in lots of ways.
Who is the pension fund?
I can't tell you who our customers are.
Okay, one of the biggest though in the country. I mean, that's a big hint, I think.
Definitely, Mike, you mentioned the Treasury. We also saw yesterday the U.S. Treasury announced that it wanted every crypto transfer larger than $10,000 to be reported to the IRS. Is this a good thing?
Listen, there's going to be regulation that comes down, and the crypto community is going to work in tandem with the regulators to try to get fair regulation that actually helps the industry expand with making sure that the government has the confidence in the system that they need. It starts in 2023. That's a long way from here, and there are probably some tweaks. But I tell everybody in crypto, pay your taxes. I paid my taxes.
So 2023, we're going to be seeing massive changes, especially end of 2021 and end of 2022. By end of 2021, we should be seeing a big, basically, growth. So we should be seeing a bull run by the end of 2021, according to some experts. Again, not financial advice. And in 2022, we should be seeing bigger increases. And in 2023, we should be finally seeing mainstream adoption. So what I'm talking about is, mainstream media. And this is what I always keep talking about. Mainstream, everyone basically, like banks picking it up, picking cryptocurrency up. 2024 should be the final year where everything should be great.
Crypto every year. If you want to be a citizen of this country, you should pay your taxes. And so, tax surveillance isn't the end of the world. Where it starts and if it's on hosted or unhosted wallets, there's lots of nuance in this. But right now it's for big institutions, and I think that's fair.
And Mike, just ending the week that was and looking at, you bring up all of the other coins that are out there, Ethereum, Dogecoin. We have a coin here named after our very own Joe Weisenthal here in the building. When you look back at the past 5 days, do you think what we have seen sort of helped or potentially hurt the crypto cause?
Listen, when you think about something like Dogecoin, this is a young group of people that got together. It started as a meme. It became their passion, their calling. It tells you something that Doge can get to.
Yeah, the Doge and Shiba Inu are basically a community plus a utility. They actually have use cases.
$50 billion market cap or whatever, $80 billion market cap. It tells you that the Federal Reserve is printing lots of money and there's something wild going on. That LeBron James basketball card just sold for $5 million.
That's actually insane.
A card like that would have sold for $300,000 18 months ago. And so those, I would call them tempest in a teapot crazes, are endemic to the monetary conditions we're living in today. I don't think it helps the overall crypto revolution. There's a really serious revolution going on, built by guys like Vitalik who's the kind of champion of the Ethereum ecosystem.
He's definitely the champion. He's like the head of Shiba Inu and Ethereum. Obviously, he didn't want to become the champion, the head of Shiba Inu. But it seems like after the donation, he got a lot of good reputation.
There's huge amounts of human capital, brain power going into trying to rebuild this infrastructure. And I think the bubbles, the crazes kind of take away from that. That said, I don't want to discredit that community. They're young guys. People made lots of money. They believe in it. There's something very tribal that's going on Twitter. It's going on in our country, right? You try to convince a Trump supporter that the election wasn't stolen and they'll come to fisticuffs with you. And so when I criticize some of these crypto communities and say, well, I don't really see the use case, I get violent response.
That's exactly. It's a strong community, but I definitely think Shiba Inu and other coins, even Dogecoin, if it gets worked on, could have strong cases that you might not be aware of.
At times, death threats. And so I think it's endemic to our country is we're a bit of a broken country. We need to heal ourselves. We've got a chance. One of the reasons we did One for Democracy is we had a chance really, to start trying to write that, to give people voice who haven't had voice, to try to heal this fractured land that we have. But you see it literally graphically on Twitter in the crypto.
A lot of the coins with no utility will probably just fall off and, pass out. They will just go to the bottom. But coins with actual utility who are already established in the markets as Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, they are here definitely to stay. It will just take some time for them to grow back.
The world. And so,
yeah. You do. Sometimes you don't want to be, sometimes you really regret being in those threads. At least I certainly do on Twitter because, especially with anonymity, Mike. Hey, I just want to end talking a little bit about the short-term impact of regulation. And if we're going to start to see more wild swings like we saw, if we do start to hear more from the government about regulating cryptocurrencies.
Listen, I think we're going to hear more from the government, right? Gary Gensler took over the SEC. Gary's a very smart guy. He taught a course at MIT on blockchain and crypto. He's going to address the issues. We're hoping the SEC gives a regulatory sandbox for new projects. We're hoping they approve an ETF. I think that's probably late fourth quarter, early first quarter. But clarity will help the space, certainly the institutional side of the space. And so I'm not fearful of regulation.
I'm not fearful of regulation either. I don't think it will be that hard on cryptocurrency. I think cryptocurrency and fiat can both live together. But since digital wallets are becoming the future, I definitely think there's going to be a lot more digital wallets and people holding coins. Now, people are actually being the first investors into such a big market that's incoming. Like cryptocurrency back in 2018 was so small, and now it's finally being adopted up. Imagine where cryptocurrency will be in 10 years.
A bad regulation, but I'm optimistic that the crypto community is a big community now, and it's a well-funded community, and it's a well-connected
Exactly. It's like a community. It's a big, big, strong community right now.
And let me tell you, we're in conversation across the board with the regulators. And hopefully, we've got smart people in government. They know a lot more about this space than most people think. Certainly the young people at all the agencies, CFTC, if it's Treasury, if it's SEC, they all are long crypto. And so I think hopefully things end up in a good place.
So thank you so much for watching this video. I definitely do agree with what Michael Novogratz has been saying. Thank you so much for Bloomberg Finance, a quick take for making this news, because this is like massive news for Shiba Inu and the future of cryptocurrency. He gave his own thoughts. What do you guys think? What do you think happens with Shiba Inu in the future? Let me know down in the comments below, and see you until next time. Peace, guys.